Till I get up, time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways. And on we'll go.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us today, we have Neebs, and bringing you the Dread Zone cast of DZG Elysium, coming into the first week of Runeterra Academy vs. RPG. Neebs, how the hell are you doing today, man?
I'm doing well, man. I'm excited for this game. I can't wait to see it. Unfortunately, it looks like RPGC does not have their first 3 bans using a sub, E-sub at that, but it looks like we have the Jin, Wukong, and Diana bans for the maybe first pick Twisted Fate. Oh, to the swap to the Viego. Interesting.
So they opted in here for the Viego, which is just so strong in the meta. The resets can absolutely just pick apart a team fight. And kind of like I was saying in yesterday's cast, it's one of those champions that I do like seeing navigated in higher elo. However, it comes in here and it can still do a lot of work even in cold. And then immediately answers with this Jinx Janna here in the bot lane, which I think is just an incredibly strong combination. I definitely think RPGZ getting heavily punished for not having those bans names. That bot lane is scary.
Yeah, the answer being Misfortune here, we'll see. If it is, I think that's kind of an odd pick, to be honest. There's the Twisted Fate again, and it looks like they will probably lock this in. The early show was a little weird, I think, by them, but it really looks like they're prioritizing maybe, like, picks, which is weird that they also picked the MF for, like, you know, AoE ulti I'm surprised there's not more of a wombo there, but let's see what DZG is going to answer with here.
Absolutely, but DZG are getting so much in this draft already. They have potential for the jungle counter. All they really lost for showing the bot lane was they got into an MF, which I don't think is that detrimental to this bot lane here at all. And then they also are going to get free mid lane counter without really having to do much. So instantly taking the Silas here, giving that to Gopamine, he'll be able to take the Twisted Fate ultimate and be able to theoretically match the roams just fine. So DZG, I think, getting a lot here. All they have to do now is show jungle in this R4 pick, and boom, they got top lane counter as well. So I think just as it stands right now, the ordering of this draft phase, heavily DZG favored in my opinion here, Nate.
Oh, for sure. I mean, showing jungle and mid early without the enemy team like picking either of those roles, definitely going to be heavily punished here. And again, as I mentioned, I don't think RPGC has like the team comp design that DZG does at this moment. Elysium really pulling through with creating like good space with the Janna. They have good AoE damage as well as a hyper carry through Jinx, and then Silas. These next two picks from RPGC might even make him stronger. So team fight wise, I think they're already pulling ahead. DZG, that is.
Absolutely. If Silas gets access to a good Misfortune bullet time, like that is just incredible. He layers that down with so much damage going out, certainly. And kind of looking at the OP.GGs, this is Emperor's most played pick on this Twisted Fate. He's got 20 games, but only a 50% win rate here. So this is definitely going to be something that they wanted to prioritize, really get Emperor in a comfortable position. But this being week 1, haven't really seen too many stats come down for the league and see how this team really gels. So I don't know if this is somebody that they really want to play around. DZG here opting to take away the Camille, opting to take away the Blitzcrank, which could certainly ruin a Janna's day. And now, red side pick coming in, it's going to be the Poppy, which I've got mixed feelings about here in this draft, Noobs, but let me hear your thoughts.
Poppy's pretty decent into Viego, but the rest of their comp at the moment, personally, I don't necessarily agree with it. But she does offer, again, a lot of space and disengage. I do know a jungler that is probably losing his mind right now that Poppy was just picked. But it does look like they're going to answer with like a Taric, which, looking at OP.GG's, I kind of saw that coming just because as far as team fight goes, that kind of opens up a lot of avenues. But it does look like they're going to get their hyper scaling out of Jinx. They have a decent early game bot lane. They changed the Gwen.
I definitely think the frontline option here is better, and if that one does get locked in, then Symphonic, coach for Elysium, in case anybody doesn't know, is an absolute genius, because you're increasing the value of this Poppy exponentially with this that top lane. Poppy is now able to deny the Ornn, now able to deny the charge on the Ornn as well. So yes, before all it did was say, hey Viego, you don't have your W. Okay, big whoop. But now denying the Ornn, either that was a stroke of brilliance or a stroke. I cannot tell yet, but we'll certainly see things pan out here a little bit. But I think RPGC just kind of counterpicked themselves in the sense of the jungle, and then boom, giving Silent Elements access to the set matchup. That should go heavily in their favor. Top lane, that's going to be a scary place to gank if you're the side of Dracnus. You need to be playing very respectfully here in this lane if Poppy's ever suspected to be on the top side of the map.
Yeah, I think also with the Ornn pick, they're also just kind of making Silas stronger. He has access to Twisted Fate ult for the roam potential if he needs to be in the side lane with Twisted Fate. And then if not, if you just want to group wide once Silas gets ahead, you now have access to the Ornn Horn. And as you said, if Poppy just sits on Ornn, the likelibility of him getting Ornn Horn completely off is not going to happen, right? So really well drafted. I think as far as team comps go, I think DZG is definitely favored. What do you think, Chase?
The Jinx, I just feel so much stronger than Misfortune, and let's be real here. There's so much disengage options for DZG that they can almost mitigate the entirety of the Terra here. The only thing that they really got to watch out for, and if this team is coordinated, like I said, I don't know too much about RPGC, is going to be the Destiny coming in with Twisted Fate. That can throw in a whole whole slew of problems for map rotations. And it could also lead to a lot of frustration, especially in this elo. Like, hey, everything's fine, I'm winning a 1v1, and oh shit, TF's here, and my day is ruined. And the next thing you know, you're screaming at the mid laner, why did you come, right? So, what DZG really need to do, and I want to see, is I want to see the smart wards in the bot side and top side jungle, kind of identifying who's extended up, coming out of Gopamine here, putting those wards down, knowing the range of Destiny, and knowing where TF is going to be able to win those fights. So, I think if they're able to do that, then this should be a DZG win. This draft is just excellent. And like you were said, Silas here has pick of the litter with the ultimate, in my opinion. Every ultimate on the enemy team is just fantastic, granted, and albeit situational. So that's where my thoughts on this lie. Certainly leaves.
Also, as far as like global pressure goes, most champions, you get the Shin, you get Twisted Fate, Galio. Post lane phase, really what you want to do is more target the lane, like the global lane, and then you're kind of nullifying that anyway, right? So what I would really like to see is maybe some high influence mid, get Gopamine ahead, he can abuse the matchup, and then once Twisted Fate has been kind of put in the dirt, even that global sense of pressure is kind of negated, so and then we have a winning matchup top lane, and as you said, I think Jinx just innately outscales MF. You don't really have to put that much pressure bot lane, and then the Janna kind of just negates the Taric, so he's not really a hard engage champion. It's like pseudo engage, and then on top of that, like Janna's already good at like uber peeling,
Yeah, absolutely. I think DZG just need to play very patient. I wouldn't say respectful. They need to play very patient. Wait for the Taric ultimate to come out. Wait for them to have a good opportunity to really to find the picks that they need and be able to burst either Misfortune or the Twisted Fate. And just don't let Viego have a reset. Because there certainly is a world where DZG inappropriately pull the trigger. Maybe they, decide to pick up an Ornn and drop it into the enemy team, and then boom, Taric ult comes out, and then literally all your damage just fizzles out, and Set's left in the middle of the team going, dude, what the hell? So, as long as they play it patient, they look for the right avenues, the right timing, disengage when they need to, those are going to be some of the key factors for DZG in the team fights, in my personal opinion. So definitely going to be keeping an eye on that Taric ultimate, because that's a game changer too. As much as the Silas is, as much as the Poppy and Janna disengage tools are, the Taric ultimate really needs to be played around.
Yeah, we'll see if, and I hope, I don't know how much Taric this guy plays, but I really hope RPG Hyper is of the mindset, like the proactive Taric ulti is what you want to use it for. You don't use Taric ulti to save lives, you use it to mitigate damage, right? But, something I had not thought about, but as we've talked about this, I mean, Silas ulti taking Taric, I mean, that's also an option, Silas gets ahead, gets free Taric ulti, dives backline literally for free. That's going to be kind of crazy, so I kind of hope Gopamine gets ahead and we just get to see him run rampant on the backline. That'd be really neat, honestly. So, we've kind of discussed about DZG maybe coming out here on, the draft and being much better, but what about win cons for RPGC, I think Misfortune probably goes lethality build here instead of going to PTA. I think PTA is kind of troll, really needs to play around that ultimate. And then, with the Viego Twisted Fate, splitting up DZG is really their only option for winning, in my opinion, right? Unless they get ahead, and then I think grouping wouldn't be too bad. But I do think DZG's Deathball comp is just, like, way better,
Yeah, 100%. For RPGC, what you really got to do is look for avenues. It's going to be positioning. Or, location, if you get the reference. But Twisted Fate looking for utilizing his destiny in the right ways. Viego, Tar kind of doing their own thing to really set things up ideally for them. Those are going to be the big keys for them to win. Splitting the map, Viego gets ahead. But really, in this post-6 kind of world, level 6 to 9, try to keep the lanes unbroken as long as possible. Rotate, get somebody ahead, probably not the Ornn, and they do have the scaling factor of the Ornn to rely on later. Granted, I don't think even Misfortune with ornaments or Viego with ornaments is going to be really able to outscale, but it's definitely going to be a game, or a bangle. some
A
would say.
banger, yeah, dude, a banger.
So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we are heading into the spectate delay. We've said what we got to say on draft. 3 minutes will bring you game 1 of DZG versus RPGC.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading
All
us.
right, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the game now here as we are getting started. Now, kind of just looking at things, nothing seems too crazy here. We're kind of seeing the staple items across the board for summoner spells. The only thing I want to point out here, Neebs, is cleanse for Jinx.
Welcome to
Definitely kind of
Summoner's
worried about that
Rift.
Tarek stun, perhaps. So, anything you were looking to see differently, or is pretty much everything just as expected here?
Yeah, I mean, I
30
see the
seconds
PTA
until
on the
minions
MF. I'm gonna
spawn.
call it. I think that's a little troll in the team comp setting. I really think lethality MF with a Seralda's Grudge third item would be the play. But apparently not. Also, TF grabbed Ignite, so I mean, that's gonna be an interesting take. Well, we should see a lot of interest mid lane from Viego for that 2v2. But we'll see how it goes. Really, I guess. I mean, he
Minions have
opted for the
spawned.
electrocute also for the damage, so really looking to take trades, I guess.
Yeah, so it looks like he's opting to really try to index into this 1v1, which hey, if it works for him, good call, and eat the words. But I feel that Destiny into just teleporting back to lane to pick up maybe a push from the Silas here is the more optimal path. just so you don't really concede a lot of late gold, especially if you're looking to ult as soon as you get it. So we'll see how everything boils down here, but just kind of very standard start, nothing too crazy, and it does look like Silent Elements did get that ward into the top side of the map, so they are going to know where Viego is starting. So good job, DZG, getting as much early information as possible, and the side of RPGC did not. So you love to see it. You love to see it. Gopamine really respecting this mid-range disadvantage here, and he's kind of sitting back. I mean, he's not really able to do too much until he has his Panda ducked, and then also to farm up with his Q as well. So, just exactly what you'd expect to see during the early game. We do have a mountain starting off, so that's good. That means no mountain soul here, Neebs. But what are you really looking to break open? What do you think the first points of contention really are going to be?
I think that, so blue side RPG really needs to try and get Heralds early, since their team's not really, scaling. Oh, that's a nice trade.
That is a beautiful trade from Gopamine coming in. But he is sipping on the corrupting potion, sitting at 8 CS down, so he's just gotta survive this, wait till he's able to, just 100% take those all-ins, but you were saying.
Yeah, so I think RPG really needs to try and get Heralds, get their gold lead early, and then transition that to the later Dragons. Again, first 2 Drakes for them I don't think really means that much. And then again, they should have Prio on most objectives. Their bot lane's a lot stronger early. It looks like Gopamine's fucking going for it.
The Ignite comes out, and I think that was a little bit of a missed opportunity from Emperor there, unless he wants to go for some flash, just getting used the flash defensively. So not really able to get anything. Silent Elements looking to trade back with Drakeness. He has the W available, will connect with it, but he's sitting extremely low. He's going to have to rely on that passive healing. If Drakeness decides to go back in and has the opportunity to go back in, that could be a very dead Silent Elements. But, all in all, we're seeing the trades in the mid lane and top lane going out. And, some of what I expect to see, some of what I didn't expect to see, but definitely, some action going on here in these solo lanes, Neebs.
Yeah, we're about to see a 2v2 mid lane, I think. Hopefully, it looks like, yeah.
Yeah, RPG going in now. Emperor maybe looking here, does not have his card selected. Kappa Crusader able to deny with the W, able to trade some damage in. It's a beautiful stun. First blood going over to Kappa Crusader. DZG first on the board. 400 gold in your pockets. You love to see that.
Yes, you do. Especially the assist gold going over to Silas really helped with that range versus melee matchup. He did a really good job getting the Ignite early, actually. And as you said, I think Emperor should have maybe exemplified his Ignite lead with health there, kind of chased him down a bit. Honestly, they kind of got away with a steal in that mid lane play, but a beautiful, beautiful stun by Kappa Crusader. That was insanely good targeting by DZG.
He was able to deny. I don't know if he's able to still deny the stun, but that dash and grounding that you get on the Viego there was crucial. And then just instantly saying, okay, I'm hitting the RPGX, hitting RPGX, and then swap targets. Took Emperor into that wall. The follow-up was just absolutely incredible there from Kappa. Now, you do wish to see the gold went over to Gopamine. But, getting gold on that Poppy, really accelerating that lead, picking up the Sheen, the boots, that's really going to enable the team here. Especially since Poppy did opt for the Electrocute to look maybe for some of the trades in case of an invade and everything else. So that's not wasted gold for sure. But kind of going back to the point earlier of the Ignite advantage that you mentioned, 100% agree. The trade was done. Twisted Fate flashed defensively. The trade's done. Why do you drop the Ignite? You don't have any way to gap close. You don't have a dash. You don't have a flash. You're not going to be able to get the gold card unless Dopamine just plays completely disrespectful. So, huge missed opportunity here as we're seeing some of the trading patterns come out. W used again. That's going to be about an even trade. And as this goes on, as Set will theoretically pick up the items of maybe a Bork, which I expect to see coming out for this matchup. Those trades are just going to keep going in his favor for sure. He interrupts the buy there. W coming out. Ooh, he's stepping forward into it. Will Verb get it? And he does it! Solo kill going over to Silent Elements onto Dracnus. So fantastic job. Very disrespectful play there from Dracnus to go back in on that charge. Especially he didn't have a pillar there. Like, why would you do it? But anyway, Neebs, so thoughts on it?
Dude, you want to talk about disrespectful? Imagine stepping up to a set and saying, yo, man, I'm going to build this armor, bro.
Well, RPG going S, stun going out on Johnny. I have to think that's going to be Max dying. Flashes, but it will not be enough as I think the double up does connect here. Gopamine took the Destiny. He's out here in the bot lane. Damage coming out now onto Hyper. Hyper does fall. Kappa Crusader picking up a second kill on Tark. And ladies and gentlemen, DZG answering with a well-played Silas ultimate coming down to the bot lane for a 1-for-1. And I think they're going to set their sights for the first dragon of the game here.
Yeah, interesting teleport by Silent Elements. I don't really know if that was necessary, and I really wish I would have seen Mags flash sooner. I think that was kind of a waste. If they were baiting, I think it was okay, because, you know, we netted a kill, or DZG netted a kill, excuse me. But at the same time, we're going to lose a lot topside on the side of DZG just from a poor teleportation play.
Yeah, that's going to mitigate a lot of the lead that Silent was able to get on that solo kill. He's already down CS, late going over. If we could get an gold graph here, or gold book, Alyssa. But yeah, so he's now sitting dead even despite getting a solo kill. So that's going to be pretty unfortunate. Looking across the board, we are seeing that lead here in the jungle for sure. It's beautiful. Mid's doing pretty good too. But, you know, it's definitely a little bit of a missed opportunity here. And both kills sitting on top of the Poppy here. It's not super ideal for your late stage solo 1v1s. But I still think, despite the lanes pretty much being even, that it's actually going to be pretty favored for DZG. Another trade going out here as Dracnus will look to connect. Silent does have the max charge crit, and I think that's going to be all she wrote for that one. But I think the strength in the actual individual matchups of the champions means that DZG is going to be favored here across the board, just champion-wise for the one. So I don't think it's as feels bad, but DZG, they've had the tempo. I feel like their goal should be a lot higher. RPGX is up here. Silent Elements is looking a little bit of trouble. Forced to flash out. Hornhorn coming in now, and I think it will connect. RPG will probably get this kill. Set ultimate coming out, but it will not be enough as RPG has slain Silent Elements here in the 2v1 game. So, Captain Crusader, I don't think this is somewhere you want to be, as Viego is doing his best at cosplay, looking for it. Will get the stun. Will he have the follow-up damage? And he does not. Destiny is popped from the side of Emperor here, but I don't think they'll be able to have that follow-up. Destiny just opting to use it to get back to the mid lane here. And needs. That's a lot of action to break down.
It really is. 20 CS down, top side now. The slow push is building in. We had Poppy on top side. I'm surprised he didn't just hover so that Silent could crash that wave in. And honestly, I don't know if he's going for... I'm assuming he's going for Trinity Force on the set. That's what that axe is going to build into. I do think, as you mentioned earlier, a Bork buy early would have been much better. But we have a steal from Captain Crusader that's huge for the side of DZG.
Absolutely, and Viego looking to try to trade in here a little bit to do something, but Poppy just hits W and says, okay, cool, I'm leaving, and just walks that one out. That was fantastic. Morpheus there with the Jinx Rocket. I don't know where he was throwing it. He probably yelled Kobe and then he just threw it, so I'm not sure what was going on there, because there's no real big advantage for him to get with that Super Mega Death Rocket. But we do have Kappa Crusader here looking for the flank now. Wonder who the target's going to be, as that will connect on the Soul Wolf. Ooh, that flash is actually very beautiful from the side, and I lied. That was actually Dopamine coming down here with a fantastic roam. Kappa Crusader covering mid instead. But well played, DZG, getting that kill onto to Soul Wolf there, as Dopamine did his bullet time, and yeah, that was fantastic. DZG coming in with a beautiful roam, but still, gold is dead even in this game, despite all this tempo feeling that is going in DZG's favor here, needs.
Yeah, top lane differential really kind of the problem at the moment. It won't be that bad, I don't think, but definitely need to get some gold on Silent. Yeah.
Silent's now looking for the fight here. I think he had the avenue for the ultimate, but chose not to use it. I think if he pulled the trigger there, that would have been the solo kill. But he just opted to instead use the W, and just missed opportunity. But you know what? Better safe than sorry. He got the favorable trade. He should be able to regen up, and Dopamine, if he gets it with this gold card, I don't think that Emperor here has enough damage to take him down. He's just sitting on some boots, some amp tomes, so. But, you know, trade's still not going on his favor, and that should not be within tower range. That would is not to get the vision there. And Silent Elements just, you know, chilling here, collects the plate. Viego now walking to the top side of the map, so hopefully Silent has a little bit of a head on this, and will be able to back off before Viego's able to get up here.
Yeah.
But yeah, second Drake's going to be Cloud. That means we're either going to have Infernal, Hextech, or Ocean. And which one are you hoping here for?
I'm hoping for Hextech. It looks like Silent's about to get fucking bamboozled, though.
He pops a W here, but I think Viego's going to connect with the W. He actually flashes in for it. RPGX does take down Silent Elements, so definitely using the flash to complete that gap of distance there. But yeah, well played from the 2v2 Dragonus and RPGX, utilizing their tools to their advantage, getting the kill. Now I think we're gonna have a little bit of a 2v2 fight here. As Solo will take down Morpheus. Kappa Crusader down here in the fight now as Terra Ultimate will come out. He can't do any damage here, and I don't know if they have the damage to do anything, but the Terra Ultimate falls off. Captain Crusader is looking. He does get the tackle, the ultimate, one to Solo, but these damage numbers are not very high. Jana uses the Monsoon to try to push them back, but now Kappa Crusader is just walking this out as Terra is attacking. And then with the Hammer, Mag Priest is now in a little bit of trouble, as I think that was a canceled Destiny, as I think Gopamine and Emperor are fighting in the mid lane here. Looking at the health bars, yes they are. Gopamine looking for to get what he can, and the damage will not be enough. That's going to be one kill going over to the side of RPG.
Well, the rocket?
Super Mega Death Rocket does not connect, but it was well aimed, and that will be DZG losing 1-0, and that could have been a lot worse if you were DZG there. So I think ultimately you take that, but DZG losing these 2v2s in the bot lane. Misfortune has the early advantage in this lane. Try not to take those if you can. That's just my personal thought here, please.
No, I would agree. As I said at the beginning of the game, I mean, you innately scale harder than MF. There's really no reason to be taking trades bot lane. And again, like, we just use so many ultis globally, both teams. I would really like to see, and it looks like Poppy is pressuring mid.
And that will be a solo kill going over to Dracnus on this top lane. Everything just did not go well for Silent Elements there. You looked at it, you saw the you saw the W coming out from the set, but like one ended up getting behind him. But this will be DZ picking up a second break. So hey, that's one hell of a win condition there if they're able to snowball that, especially with that being the Ocean Soul here. So I think, was that Destiny used there? Silas? It was. So Silas opted to use the Destiny to get down into the bot lane here. And first turret going over. This top lane lead is just getting very big, but Silent Elements has the grit, hasn't stacked up. He flashes into Dracula, but I don't know if he has a follow-up. He does use the ultimate now, gets the punches out, gets the W. One more auto attack will do it. Waiting for his Q to get the speed up. That Q from Ornn is very slowing. Does he get it? He does connect with the E. He gets the punch, and that will be Silent Elements answering back and the kill of Dracnus, but definitely not enough to shore up that gold differential there in the top lane names.
Yeah, hopefully we see Set get a plate or two off this play. That would really help him out at the moment. It's very unfortunate that no matter how far behind Ornn is, he's always going to be relevant, right? So, like, in Tank versus Bruiser matchup, it looks like plates fell. I don't know if he got at least one of those. I don't think he did, which is kind of unfortunate. But might be able to at least get tower for the global gold here.
I mean, down here again now as Hyper is looking a little low on the health bar, so is Max, but I think they're going to turn their sights on the Hyper here. He's ticking, and he will fall. They do get the kill over the Morpheus, and that's exactly what you want to see. A perfect tackle there from Poppy, getting a lot of damage out here on Emperor. Might have enough to do it. Flashes on top, and the second take of the Q will take down Kappa Crusader on a killing spree on this Poppy, and you love to see it if you're a DZG fan, Neebs.
All the early gold going to that Poppy, finally paying off. He says, yo, mid laner, it's my time to shine, man.
Well, you know, Dopamine and Kappa just doing a swappies here. Yeah, Dopamine's like, hey, I'm gonna gank bot, and Kappa's like, okay, cool, I'll fight your mid laner, and it works out. They get the kill at the bot lane, they get the kill in the mid lane, and unfortunately, Silent Elements wasn't able to get the tower in the top lane, but hey, you know what? You take those. If the rest of your team is doing well, you have plenty of win conditions on this map to play around. And especially since they were able to deny the Rift Herald earlier from the side of, oh no, we're seeing the Ornn come out. Eric's stun will not connect, and I don't think they have enough follow-up damage to really mess with Dopamine's stay, and the answer is no. Silent Elements is now here. You might be looking for something. The Ornn being called from the opposite side. Ornn now getting hit up with a Terra Ultimate coming out. DZG, want to back off a little bit. We talked about their respect, but maybe they don't. That's full grit when Silent Elements is going to be able to use it. He does. Dopamine play Hyper here. Super Mega Death Rocket coming in a little bit late, gonna hit some full health targets. Not gonna be anything coming from that, but that will be a fantastic play as, you know, RPG looking to come in here, maybe to get something and salvage. Herald dropped in the mid lane, and DZG should just be able to stop this, theoretically. If they're able to get enough damage to get the stop on it here. But Dracnus could be knocked up. Will they be able to stop with the charge? They do. And that was a very wasted Rift Herald here. Now, damage coming out on the Emperor, that's going to be a lot. Tornado does not connect, the damage does. Dopamine has slayed Emperor. Now, target coming out here is Silent Elements to take down Dracnus. Setting low, will it be enough? And no, it will not be enough as RPGX does take down Silent Elements, but DZG with 3 quick kills there, a lot of gold coming from this team. Tower falling, I don't think this is actually going to be too falling to your needs. This is a lot going on this map. Please break down some of this because holy hell.
Yeah, so as we talked pre-game, I think that grouping and taking away that global pressure from TF is definitely the play. Again, RPG having a really rough time dealing with DZG's Deathball comp. And I think that roam down from Silent, definitely an excellent recognize. You know, if Warren's not going to farm, yeah, you know, he's always going to be relevant. I need farm, but if I can make plays, I'm making plays. So Silent really recognizing, hey, I can leave lane here and it'll be okay. He does. Excellent use. It looks like Poppy's on Mythic now. Silas on Mythic. Basically everyone's on Mythic items. And keeping that Deathball comp looks to be the play right now. And I think them getting rid of that second Herald, I mean, that's one win con for RPG. You know, that gold getting kind of just injected into them not happening. Very misplay, I think, by the side of RPG. So it looks like Silas might actually start winning these 1v1s topside also, so that is definitely good. Looks like Bork's second item, so.
That's the play there. You really want to be able to get that picking on the Ornn and get some of that percent lifesteal. And unfortunately, ooh, Gopamine here might be looking for it. He did not connect with the the abduct portion of the E, just due to the fact that he forced out Emperor's Flash, but you take that, 100%. However, I really want to point something out. This is not all due to the side of RPGC at all. Like, they kept the misfortune in the bot lane. They were able to get the bot lane tower. They got first lane tower from the Ornn. They are getting objective golds. They're farming reasonably well. Accuracy, there might be a little bit of trouble as RPGX is looking, but Morpheus got to bail him out now. Gopamine looking, Captain Crusader looking. Will this be it? Has that a beautiful tackle coming in here onto the TF, and that will be Emperor falling to Morpheus, and that's exactly where he wants gold to be. Now, looks like they're going to be setting up the dive here. RPGX is going to be in a spot of trouble, and I think he's just able to respectfully back off as the rest of the members of RPGC here, or RPGC are here. Now, Silent Element sitting here in the top lane should be able to get that tower as blue tower will fall to Morpheus. Dragnis here looking for something. He does have access to the Ornn Horn. Will he pull the trigger? This is the avenue that you want it. He hits, connects. It's going to just Captain Crusader here. Now teleport being channeled now from the side of DZG, but will it be enough? Captain Crusader is sitting very low on the Poppy, but very tanky. Will be a shutdown going to the Ornn. Silent Elements in the back lane. Did the rest of the team know? I don't think they do, because they're dealing with Dragnis in the back line. And that will be 2 kills going over to the side of RPGC. RPGX now looking for more here, looking for the W, does connect with the Dopamine, who will be in a little bit of trouble. Destiny coming out, everyone connecting with Mac Freeze. Mac Freeze will fall, and so will Dopamine. Morpheus, the only member here left on the side of DZG. Double kill going over for the side of Soulwolf on RPGC. That is a very clean ace from them, and that is exactly what they needed to get that little bit of moral victory back in their pocket. And needs that could be a momentum swing for this game.
Yeah, I think it is actually. The prolonged fight, just not really that good for the side of DZG. Ornn is sitting very rich right now also, and from what we just saw, it looks like DZG does not have an answer to kill that Ornn yet. Jinx is building Runeterra second item, doesn't have access to that LDR early. So unfortunately, with the amount of gold injected into Ornn, he's just very tanky right now, right? So, I mean, we'll have to see if, hopefully Jinx opts for the LDR third item. If not, it's going to be really difficult to fight this Ornn.
Certainly, and like I was saying before, like, the only damage really dealt to the side of RPGC was a moral one. Like, they had the first tower, they had the bot tower taken when that huge fight came out in the mid lane from the side of DZG, and, you know, you look at it, and the gold was still even, despite all that gold coming out, or what the scoreboard might have looked like. But I know, you know, in this kind of elo, you just see these fights going on. You see, you know, 3 kills to 11 or whatever the case may be, and you're like, man, we're getting destroyed. But that's not what the gold graph is showing. So with them, you know, maybe having the moral dilemma of losing, that was just completely turned on its head if that was even the case down in that dragon fight. So RPGC definitely have an opportunity to take control of this game. They have ornaments coming online here in a level, and you know, the Misfortune sitting at a very comfortable 4-1. Sitting on a completed item above the Jinx, does have the Runeans, which should help a lot, not the Runeans, sorry, the Lord Dominance, which should really help with the the taking threat of Poppy here. So this could be a very close game here. Silent Elements might not be winning these trades. He's positioning here now for the ultimate and just auto-attacking. Ornn finally has Bramble Vest. Destiny coming in here. Silent Elements kind of doing some fancy footwork, but I don't think it's going to be enough, as he will fall to Draconia's Fullness Ornn. And, you know, we talked about those map rotations. You have to be respectful when you're playing against Destiny and Twisted Fate here, Neebs.
Yeah, the wave's already pushing into DZG in that bot lane. There's really no reason to contest unless it comes into a safe area. Right now, DZG just needs to scale up, especially with the Jinx, until she gets that LDR to deal with the Ornn. Now that the game has kind of been turned around. So I would like to see maybe a little better safety when it comes to farming. Letting the waves, you know, shove in, you bounce them back, you just play a little bit of ping pong until you get that gold wrap up.
Oh, Captain Crusader didn't actually opt to go for it there, but it's so fun watching the low elo people play around Poppy, because you'll see the ring around Poppy and people are just like, I'm going in, boys, and they just get grounded instantly. Gopamine does not know where Emperor is, I don't think. Maybe he does. He misses the Abscond Duck, gets gold carded, and I don't think there's going to be enough damage to really make anything happen here, but always you see some of the potential leveling up. So, definitely,
yeah.
This game could go either way here, Neebs.
Yeah, we're very even. I mean, even being 3K behind, you know, I think DZG scales a lot harder. So it's really just seeing if RPG ends up being able to close out the game. So, well, I mean, we'll see how it goes. We're close.
So I talked about the win condition earlier for RPGC, and now I think that it's starting to win.
Oh, they're starting Baron.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, now I think the win condition is kind of flipping with it. Now DZG have to be very careful. Location. This is sticking here. I think this might just be a free Baron. Captain Crusader is going in to look for something here. He has the hammer charging, does not connect with anybody, and wait, flash here for that. Does not get the steal. Now damage here could come out, but that would be a Terra Cultivate. Morpheus does not get a chance to free fire over that wall to do anything meaningful. 5 members of RPGC sitting with that Nash, and Silent Elements might get a bot tower for his troubles, but that's gonna be it. That is a huge momentum swing for an already up-tempo RPGC here, Neebs.
Yeah, DZG had vision on that Baron with that pink in the corner. I don't know why Poppy took so long to, stop the Baron. I feel like you just blast cone over, Poppy ult the jungler when it's at, you know, like maybe 1500 or so. And then, you know, a quick EQ on Baron, you know, you smite it and then you win, you flash out, right? So I think that was kind of a late response by DZG. They did answer with bot tower, which I think is a good play. You know, cross map is always good. But as you mentioned, you know, DZG, when gold was even, Deathball comp was working. Now it is not, and I don't think it will work at the moment. So,
well, we'll see here. This might have the 5v5 breaking out here. Silent Elements looking forward to go on the track. This, I don't think the Terra Cultivate is available, but that bullet time is absolutely huge. Emperor picking up both kills on Kappa Crusader and Silent Elements here. Now Max Style Dejana is now the champion that sights with the Morpheus. Dopamine, last man standing. It takes a Terra Cultivate to survive, but you are up against the army of death, as the Deathfall comp has swung around full favor. Now you have to imagine this is going to be a free break for the side of RPGC. Ornn just feeling like he could just utilize his teleport to go push the top wave. So RPGC, this game has fully flown into their tempo now, and DZG need a way to get back into this game.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think their best chance is just hopefully stop the bleeding as much as possible, get a couple picks, try and farm up. Forcing plays and trying to match objectives right now is not going to be the answer. This Ornn is absolutely just unkillable at the moment for the side of DZG.
Yeah, and their only way to deal with it is the Jinx just now built their last Whisper, so no Lord Dom's available for them. They're not going to be able to really shred on that. And Jinx is now forced to try to defend bot tower, and I think that they could die if they wanted. Hyper now taking a lot of damage, and he will fall? No, he doesn't. Emperor goes in with RPGX, and they actually, Emperor going on a killing spree. I think he connected with his Q there. And holy shit, Morpheus is gone. He was there, and then he wasn't. Really trying to get that kill on Hyper, who's just able now to sustain up with the Terra killing. This bot lane tower, you have to think will fall. Members of DZG, I don't think they can handle this 5v5, or sorry, 5v4, as this inhibitor will be next to fall. And DZG, we talked about it when I said at the Nash fight, location, location, location. That bot lane fight, when they tried to get something there, was not enough, but now Terra is coming down, Captain Crusader's ticking low, Silent Helmet's going into the backline, but Silent Helmet, go boom. Gopamin here taking the ultimate full time, trying to do something, but it does not look like he got any damage out here. Gopamin going gold, but you have to think he's going to go to the grave, as he will now be turned on to. That healing will not be enough. Morpheus does get picked with that turret, and double killing out for Diego, now focusing on the mag freeze when he looks for it, and I don't think they will. 2 inhibitor Nexus towers falling. Nexus going to be next to the chopping block. 5 members of RPGC here in a very dominant mid to late game turnaround for them. And unfortunately, DZG just not getting the dub in this series. And we're going to have to see some adjustments here from their side as we head into the game 2, Neebs. But man, what are some of your big thoughts from that game, really?
I still think, as far as draft-wise goes, DZG should have won out. Very good singular play. Micro game was very good on the side of RPG, and then macro-wise, as you mentioned very early on, and you kind of touched up upon mid-game, location was a big deal. They lost the fight drag. They were in an avenue choke. MF popped off. You look at the fight mid lane for the, after the first 3 dragons. MF gets a good ultimate off, pops off. You gotta spread this group around once you're low in the gold department. Once you're behind, you can't really deathball as you were winning when the gold was even. And then post that, really you gotta try and split them up, which is difficult because of the side of, Twisted Fate. Emperor being on a champion that he is normally on often. So I think really DZG just needs to slow play their team fights a little bit. All the gold being injected into Poppy, we saw it pretty decent, but once she was 3-0, then turned to a 3-4. So gold not going to the correct people, I think, and then also Silent, kinda, not really throwing away his lane, but putting himself into a really bad CS differential after getting a solo kill, and then also giving Ornn free plates on that TP play that wasn't necessarily needed. You kind of hate to see that,
Yeah, 100%. Like, if your team is doing well on their own, just let them have it, right? Ask them, hey, teleport needed, and if they don't give you an answer, kind of assess the situation. I get it. I get wanting to join the fight, but sometimes it's just not needed and it sets you behind. But no, that Ornn's damage was absolutely incredible. But we're going to go ahead and hop into a short break, ladies and gentlemen, as we're going to bring you draft for Game 2 very shortly. But stick around, as the series of DZG versus RPGC will continue shortly.
Through the Simon. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. It's the calm before the storm. Things aren't as they were before. You best start bracing. Did you think you could keep us out? Shut the gates, forget us now. Tides are changing.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back bringing you into the draft of DZG versus RPGC for Game 2. And once again, since Emperor will be playing in this game as well, they had a very good Twisted Fate performance last game. They are still losing their 3 bans here. So DZG, once again, taking away the Jhin, taking away the Wukong, and taking away the Taric here. So first pick, they opt to go for the Diana here. Do you think that's worth blowing the first pick? Well, I won't say blowing, but do you think that's worth first pick?
I think that Diana's very strong in the meta right now. Probably one of the best junglers, fastest clear speed, other than I think Udyr, but no one plays Udyr anymore. But you know, you can get to that first Scuttle 6 camp clear at 313 if you play it right. So I do think it's good, especially with the jungler getting a lot of kills last game. Let's see if Kappa Crusader can get those kills, but actually do a lot more with them this game. We'll see.
And RPGC going ahead and getting the Jinx here, which is a super strong pick. Now, DZG, they had a very strong win condition in the bot lane with the Jinx, but it was just never able to come online. The positioning in the team fights, when it finally got to the point where Jinx could have theoretically been strong enough to take something over, just wasn't up. 2 of the members of DZG sitting in a bullet time, and just health bars getting eviscerated, and then Terracolt came out, and so Jinx is just running to high hills. So they opt to now go for the Caitlyn, which after the nerfs, I mean, do you think the nerfs were sufficient enough to really deny this being the counterpick here?
No, I mean, Caitlyn's not necessarily a counterpick to Jinx. The big thing about picking Caitlyn is you need to play through that lane, right? So, like, if we don't see a decent bot side focus here, so Caitlyn can really pop off, get plates, and then once plates go down pre-14 minutes, you move Caitlyn to another lane to inject more gold into your team. You know, I think that's really the play if you're going to pick Caitlyn. She does get outscaled eventually, but with the Leona, it should be a very abusable matchup bot lane. So I guess we'll see here, Jace.
Yeah, it's all going to be about seeing the Leona set up with the Yordle Snap Traps, and I think that's a fantastic pick from the side of RPGC. They take the Trundle, so really your options to counter the Ornn are minuscule. You could run the setback again if you want, which I don't think Silent Elements did bad in the lane at all. I think that he over-aggressed at some points. He stepped up a little too far when he shouldn't have, and teleported away when he shouldn't have. But when it came down to the 1v1 trades, it wasn't looking too bad. Now, the side of RPGC is saying, hey, you know what? We really don't want to deal with Gopamine Silas again. And I have to think that DZG might want to take away Twisted Fate and the Destiny call here, Neebs.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think he was a big playmaker on a couple of those fights. They don't really have anything to match the global pressure now that Silas is off the board. But I think the big thing DZG has to do right now is decide, how are we going to kill this Ornn? You know, last game we saw him get gold injected into him. He was, I don't know, like 4-2 or something like that, and he still was literally just unkillable. So I'm curious to see what what DZG's answer is going to be topside into this Ornn, and then also, you know, Trundle. You don't really want to pick another tank because Trundle will just turn you into a piece of paper. Really want to pick something that can either anchor Ornn to the side lane, where if Ornn, you know, leaves, you take the base, or, you know, something that can at least kill the Ornn 1v1, get ahead, and then move on with their lives, you know?
Well, DZG here now taking away the Twisted Fate as we anticipated, and RPGC answering with a Jarvan ban. So maybe they think, and you know what, completely possible that this is going to be a mid lane Diana. We see Gopamine play this champion all the freaking time. So, which does lead me to ask the question, what is their coach thinking? If they see that Gopamine might be playing this Diana, why ban the Silas? If they think that the the jungler is playing the Diana Y ban the Jarvan here, so it seems like this was one hell of a fantastic flex pick for DZG to pull the trigger on. But that will be the Blitzcrank, which is a lot less damning for the side of DZG if you don't have a Janna Jinx. Grab a Leona, they dare you. So we'll see how this boils down here. Is DZG now opting for Xin Zhao in the jungle, which once again, we just talked about. Hey, you want a champion to get the gold in the jungle? Xin Zhao's a damn good choice here. Names. Now, I would love to see a Gwen come out in the top lane to really answer this Ornn. I feel like that the percent health damage she does, the split push potential that she has is superb. The W coming out to deny the Ornn Horn, but I don't know if Silent Elements plays it. So we shall see what they opt to do here for the top lane. This is going to be the make or break pick, in my opinion. And a Mordekaiser, I think that's a fantastic choice to take into the Ornn for sure here, Needs.
Yeah, very decent pick for sure. I'm a little hesitant on the jungle matchup that they have selected. Xin Zhao and Trundle, not really the best. You go in for the duel against Trundle, he Qs you, takes all your AD, and then, post 6, he's just going to steal all your stats. So, doesn't really win the 1v1 in that scenario. Mordekaiser anchoring Ornn to a side lane and then also just ulting him to keep him, from using the Ornn Horn, huge.
Well, I think I might have to go contact the VA and see if I'm eligible for chemotherapy here, Nibs, because that is an Annie coming in, giving me cancer in the mid lane. So Diana is going to have a damn bad time. She goes in, literally a bear gets dropped on her head, and they're not going to have fun in that matchup, certainly. But across the board here, definitely draft adaptations, more so from the side of DZG, but some of the identity really shifting around here a lot for RPGC as well. So this should look like a completely different game. And if you're a DZG fan, you want a completely different game here. So with that being said, Neebs, how are you feeling about this?
I think that RPGC went back into what they had done previously. I mean, with their draft, it's kind of like, again, another pick comp with pseudo Deathball, which is like fairly good. Trundle is going to be able to become very, very tanky, and then they also have Ornn. Not really that much tank damage coming out from the side of DZG. Ornn gets ahead, and Trundle able to steal enough stats from Leona. I think that's going to spell some trouble for DZG. You really want to split them up, make sure that they're not getting the team fights that they want, and then, fight the 1-3-1, because, yeah, Annie's kind of cancer, but, proper Q Diana E into an R buffer, like, you're going to get all your damage off on the Annie anyway, even if you're stunned. Should be able to just send her to the clapback factory. So, the mid lane matchup's not too bad. And again, Morden to Ornn, as long as Ornn doesn't use W to negate your ultimate, you wait until after the brittle comes out. You should be able to win that 1v1 if you get some gold early, so.
I would love to see an item optimization here from Silent Elements. I want to see Leandries, maybe into a Demonic Embrace, really shred him to high health. Because, honestly, 9 times out of 10, that's who you should be ulting in these fights. Unless you're trying to take away Trundle to deny the smite advantage, which is another fantastic use for the Death Realm here from the Mordekaiser. So, I think that's not a terrible draft or item adaptation. Granted, Riftmaker is an incredible item here for the Mordekaiser, but that's something that I would love to see here. The bot lane, kind of like you talked about, I'd love to see the pressure here, but if Xin Zhao and Kappa Crusader and Gopamine are able to really abuse the Annie short range and get him into a favorable position in this match, that's definitely a good option as well, in my opinion. So definitely a lot of options for DZG here, but there's definitely a lot of options for the side of RPGC. If they're able to utilize this Blitzcrank to high success, roam around, look for the cheeky invades, look to send him around with Trundle, look to send him to the mid lane, look to get this Jinx ahead. There's definitely a lot of win factors here for the side of RPGC as well. So this could be a fantastic game here, Neebs.
Yeah, I think, unfortunately, Mordekaiser still has to build Riftmaker, just because he needs to be able to sustain against the Ornn, keep him in lane. Again, your best chance is 1-3-1 with an anchor. And then as far as the Caitlyn goes, hopefully we see, if Ornn gets ahead, Yeah, Gale Force mobility is like really big, but if we don't have the items to deal with the Ornn, then I think the DZG just kind of falls apart later. I'd really prefer seeing the Kraken on the Caitlyn into the LDR. I think that's much stronger in this scenario. Because if we do go to team fight, DZG needs to play front to back, just as RPGC does. But again, Ornn has to be taken care of, right? So, I mean, I think both team comps look pretty good. Really, whoever gets the gold, in my opinion, is really going to run with the money. And again, I would like to see the early game Heralds coming out from DZG. Maybe give up the first Dragon if they absolutely have to, but they shouldn't, just because I think as far as priority goes, they have much stronger skirmish potential in the bot lane, as well as the 2v2 mid lane. At least early.
100% agree, and I really want to see DZG optimize the early game tempo that they have a lot better. Last game, like, if you had gold turned off, you're like, man, DZG is running away with this one. But if you looked at it with the gold graph on, you're like, you know what, maybe they aren't. So I'd love to see a lot more optimization, really put the gold in their pocket for them to accelerate the tempo of this game, for them to really get into that strong driving seat here. And from the side of RPGC, just do what you did. Do what you did and you'll be fine. Your map rotations were terrible. Ornn, should probably itemize a little bit better. The fact that it took him, 20 to 30 minutes to get a Bramble Vest versus Set, I feel was a little troll. But other than that, like, they played last game fantastically, but I definitely want to see some of these shift ups here that I just mentioned for the side of DZG. Any last comments, Steebs?
Let's have a great game and let's see it, man. Hopefully DZG brings it back. I want that 3-game series.
Hells yeah, I 100% agree. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be taking you into the spectator delay, so just hang tight. Game 2 of DZG Elysium versus RPGC, joining you shortly.
Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in us. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it out. Tonight, we gonna let it out. Tonight, we gonna let it out. Just like the sunrise, we gonna let it out. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna light it up tonight. We gonna light it up, babe. Tonight we gonna light it up just like the sunrise. We gonna light it up.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are bringing you back to the action in Game 2 of DZG Elysium versus RPGC. And kind of just looking across the board here, I'm not seeing anything too crazy this time. Both mid laners opting here for the Ignite. And no cleanse in the bot lane. Actually, I think we have a 100% mirror matchup, except that RPG and Cat both want to keep their smite in different positions. Same with Flash in the top lane here. But anything that you expected to see differently is we're seeing a little bit of a 4 to 5 man stack here for the side of DZG right now in the bot lane.
Yeah, they're waiting for that Blitz invade. Hopefully they can sniff this out. It looks like Blitz is going to recognize, like, hey, they might be 5 stacked. Maybe running into this isn't going to be that crucial. It does look like Diana opted for the Electrocute instead of going, like, Conquer for the extended trades. Really smart decision by Gopamine to say, hey, you know, if Annie's going to try and burst me, I need to burst her, right? So really good recognizing, like, the short trade versus Annie is definitely good. Scaling factor might not be as great for the Diana, but, you know, you still get that 300% bonus increase on her passive onto jungle camp, so as far as taking objectives goes, probably not going to be that bad, you know?
Yeah, 100%. And I think that's that great optimization as well there from Gopamine. You know, I'm gonna blow you up, not if I blow you up first, kind of deal. So, nothing too exciting here in the bot lane. You know, yeah, I don't even know if they were looking for the Blitzcrank hook there at the beginning. They did like a 5-man fan out, which super respectful. DZG I think had the optimal pattern there to be able to respond if they did do something a little cheeky. And Silent just here now trying to deny Dracnus the CS, and he'll get his passive ticking, but he's going to sack minions for this as well. So a little bit of suboptimal there to just deny the farm. It's not like he's even denying the experience here. So I don't know how I feel about that news.
Yeah, I think making sure you get the first 3 minions, pretty big. You could have still pressured Ornn off by using passive and then just queuing behind you to get the minions at least. You know,
that will be a connect on the Hyper now. Damage coming out will be enough. I think the trap hit as well. Hyper ticking. Will he fall? He will not. Another stun coming out on the Soul Wolf here. Damage will not be enough. Max actually being taken off the tower. 1-2 tower shots will not be enough, but Morpheus doing everything that he can. That is so damn close. You want to see it, but the level up will prevent the auto attack from being able to take out Soul Wolf and DZG with a fantastic 2v2 fight down there in the bot lane. But health bars super low, won't actually diminish.
Yeah, looks like we're about to get smashed in the top lane, Jace. Maybe.
I see this coming out. We have, yes, he's definitely going to be up here. RPGX coming up now. Dracnus and Silent Helmet's fighting. Silent Helmet's already low for the 1v1 fight here. RPGX coming in will get the damage out. Silent Helmet's trying to do something. First blood going over to RPGX on this Trundle. And Silent Helmet's, you had a great CS lead, but you just did not have the vision to back up what you wanted to do. Capper Crusader coming up here to the top lane will not be able to salvage anything. And DZG, just across the board, getting scrappy. Things just not coming up in their favor.
Yeah, I think the 4 camp clear by Zen there is kind of a little troll. You know, you have a lot of top lane pressure on your Mordekaiser. Just do red into Gromp blue, look top side, and then fall back to your camp. So I think actually kind of a misplay on the side of DZG's jungler, but it looks like there's going to be a return gank here, and we might see a 2v2 top side.
RPGX and Kappa Crusader are already duking it out. Kappa Crusader coming out the favorite, but maybe not because he does not have a red buff. That would be the flash, but he flashes right back into Dracnus, and that would be kill. Soul Wolf now being targeted here as Magnus Prize does get on top. Damage coming out. Morpheus does connect with the Q, and that will be Blitzhook connecting as well. I don't know if you needed the flash. Maybe you did because of the knockup of the E from the Blitzcrank. But DZG answering on the bot side, and Kappa Crusader, you just got too cheeky there. I don't think he flashed. He did not. He just followed his Wind Becomes Lightning into the Trundle there with a very low health bar. I think that was, well, I mean, hindsight being 2020, but that was just greedy greedy even before the fact there.
Yeah, as I mentioned prior to us getting into the game, you know, Zen versus Trundle, you normally don't win those skirmish, you know,
Especially if you don't have run buff.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so just really unfortunate. I think kind of greedy with the play. Really need to slow down in the top side. We really don't want to see Ornn getting the lead that he did and become that unkillable monster again, right?
Well, he's already kind of getting there a little bit. The CS discrepancy completely evened out now. Silent Elements has access to the flash, can step up a little bit, and the wave will be coming to him. But Ornn just does not have a care in the world. He has blue buff. He has the ability to just spam out spells now to farm. So
yeah, that and
Just
build
definitely not
items
going
whenever he
for it.
wants to. So the
Yeah.
lane sustain's actually incredible by the Ornn right now. Looks like we might get a fight bot side here.
Especially the posturing now, as top lane is still duking it out a little bit. Silent does not have the minion advantage or the level advantage here, and trying to do his best here, and should just opt to get all this. Bot lane, we just see them dancing around there on the minimap, but nothing really coming of it, as I guess One Become Lightning or Hook does not connect. Silent Elements should theoretically have access to his W, should feel a little safe there. I don't think the dive's going to be coming out here, but Annie's looking now, does not have level 6, but that will be a pretty good trade going into the Emperor's pocket. Horn food here, I think that's a very ambitious, he missed it! He missed it, did not connect, and then also looked really goofy there too. Silent Elements, this should be your fight. One more Q should do it. Does he drop it? He misses and it will be a flash! And oh, that was so close for Silent Elements, but Dracnus surviving by the skin of his teeth there. Very underplayed performance there from the side of Dracnus in that 1v1 fight there needs.
Yeah, Silent pulls the Ornn out of his ultimate and then still opts to flash away even though Ornn wouldn't have got the second R. So kind of a misplay on the side of DZG as well. But it looks like Silent's just trying to bait this. Might get the 1-for-1, but doesn't look like it. Dracnos is going to get out here. Looks like Trundle's also peeping into the top side of DZG's jungle since they're opting to grab the dragon. Good cross-map play by RPGC.
Yeah, absolutely, and DZG just really need to identify that top lane is not going in their favor. You can leave Mordekaiser on the island, have him farm under tower, look for chances to use the ultimate here, but it will be a trade going heavily into Emperor's favor, decides not to pull the bear one to Dopamine's head here, but DZG, you need to look somewhere else. You now need to put resources into the mid lane. You need to put it into the bot lane. You already got the Drake, which is fantastic for the team. Now start getting one of these lanes ahead so they can be autonomous. Emperor here now looking to step up, does have the stun available. We opt to use, drops the horn, drops the bear one to him. When Become Lightning does not connect. Dopamine will, one more auto attack, take down, and Emperor gets the solo kill. One to Dopamine with the ignite, and Timber's just doing work. Ooh, I don't think that hook was actually going to connect, but again, I blitzcrank is a little troll. So maybe it would have. But yeah, Morpheus there opting to use the flash there instead of 90 caliber net or just using his feet. That will be a huge summoner advantage going there from the side of RPGC. Trade's going back now into the top lane. Silent Elements just looking to fight this one out. But RPGX is here and ready. Death Realm used, and I do not know if he has the speed to get back on top of Dracnus. He does, but will it be enough? Damage coming out here as Death Realm will be ticking and expiring soon. Just one more tick, and it will be enough. Silent Elements does get the shutdown, but I think he's going to get run down by RPGX, who is just fast and chasing him down. The chomp does come in, and Silent Elements will fall to RPGX. But well played, Silent Elements. Still getting the one kill, doing what you can. The shutdown does actually kind of make that a little worth in your favor, especially since the side of DZG know where the jungle is. But they should be able to theoretically turn their sights on the Herald. They opt not to and just going to have him recall because mid lane does not have the priority that they need to feel comfortable doing this. Despite top lane not going in their favor here, Neebs, it is only a 1k difference in this game. DZG have the Drake, which feels great. So, oh no, Magprise does connect. Actually, opts to go for Soul Wolf here. Trap coming out, damage coming out, it's going to be massive. Morpheus does take down Soul Wolf, and this damage, or I'm sorry, these 2v2 fights in the bot lane just going heavily in DZG's favor.
Yeah, DZG really needs to stop taking their attention topside and again focus that Kate Leona. I don't, like, they're already ahead, you might as well just keep injecting gold into that lane, right? Govamine seems like he's having problems mid lane into the Annie matchup, which is kind of unfortunate, but I think Kappa Crusader, especially on that Xin Zhao, really just needs to be doing a little more high tempo play.
Super Mega Death Rocket coming from downtown. I thought that was going to do it for Gopamine there. But Yeah, Gopamine, he's in the counter matchup, and he feels really comfortable in this. I think Gopamine's going to be able to do a lot more later for the team than the side of Emperor on this Annie will be able to do for the team. But Silent, once again, he knows that he's been the target of a lot of concern here. And yeah, what's great now coming up into the top lane? Silent Elements is just like, whoa, hey, it's me versus the world. But that's what happens when you're behind and you're extended out. Kappa Crusader now here getting pulled back in with the hook. I don't think there'll be any more follow-up here as RPGX just said, hey, you know what? Y'all do y'all thing top lane. It's going to work out, and I'm going to take the Herald. And it works out for me.
Yeah, really hoping that we see some...
No, three-man dive coming in here. Oh, no. Oh, Kappa Crusader, just one auto attack left. There was 4 people in that top side. There was no world he lives, but he did his best. Silent Elements now coming up here. Oh, no, this could spell disaster if the hook does not connect. The Herald UC does have access to the Death Realm, but will it be enough? Is he going to be able to grab somebody in time? No, he will not. There's just so much lockdown from Emperor and the rest of RPGCX. Silent Elements will fall, and you have to think that tower will be falling as well. It does. Red team gets the first turret. Gold does get split up here as Soulwolf is just feeling super content farming under this tower. Magpies now will be pressuring it. Those plates are going to make this tower last a while. They might get 1, they might get 2, but it's definitely not going to be able to offset that gold advantage that they got in the top lane, especially since this is going to be 2 towers falling for the side of RPGCX.
Yeah, it looks like DZG really needs to recognize where RPGC is trying to make their plays. Top lane's kind of crushed now, which is unfortunate. But with the lane being open, Mordekaiser might be able to farm up and at least keep somebody in the death realm long enough that the rest of his team can clean up. We did get a lot. DZG did get a lot of plates, bot and mid for that top lane play. So really not that horrible. The side of RPGC actually only sitting 2k gold up above, you know, which we might see DZG fix here after getting these towers.
Oh no, that tower is living with like half a health point there. Also, not sure if anybody saw it earlier, but that cannon minion or melee minion, sorry, taking that hook there from hitting Morpheus was definitely the MVP of that play, but now RPGX turning the sights on the Captain Crusader, just wanting to fight out heavily, but now they're shifting their sights on Hyper. Now Captain Crusader will fall, Soul does get that kill, and it will be Hyper who does fall next, but I don't think anything more is going to be coming out of this play, a 1-for-1 trade, but DZG lost their jungle, so I don't think they're going to be feeling comfortable to go for this, but it will be Gopamine coming down here from the bot lane, he gets the damage out on the Emperor, will get the shutdown on the Emperor here, but Dragnis is now here to shift the sights on the Magpies, who will fall to Dragnis. Silent Elements now coming up here, we can pull back in, start getting some of this taking damage. RPGX and Dragnis sitting in this, but Silent Elements is not very strong here. Gopamine doing everything that he can, but will not be enough. RPGX is going on a rampage. Sightsail set to Orn, but will he die? And it's going to take a while. Morpheus does end up getting the kill, but it will be Silent Elements who falls as well. RPGX, despite it all, will survive. Sight shifted over to the Drake, and you have to think that that's going to be theirs.
Yeah, I really wanted to not Death Realm so early there, I think. Just playing the matchup so you actually have people to help defend. But we see a drag steal by Captain Crusader.
Crusader, well done. Anyway, sorry about that. You were saying?
Oh, you're fine. I think, you know, maybe an early Death Realm just because, you know, you have your teammates there to help you. You don't really need to pull somebody out. You know, Orn had already used most of his abilities there. So he's kind of on cooldown, maybe hold that as a utility item. But Gopamine doing work in that last fight. Looks like he's just going to be burst out here in this one, though.
The amount of lockdown side of RPGC has is insane. Timber's now dropped to just pressure this mid lane tower. And it will not be enough. But hey, look, you have a 4-0 Caitlyn. I know it's not the ideal win condition here. You got to play around this DZG. You're now down 4k. That last team fight was damning. So they need a way back into this game, and I think playing around Morpheus and Magpies this game, who've just that 2v2 dominance that they've been displaying this game specifically. If you're able to capitalize on that, that's what you need. But Hyper now here looking hyper aggressive, and actually will not get anything for his troubles by hitting a speed buff moving forward. Now Kappa Crusader, I don't think you're able to kill Orn. This man is just incredibly tanky. He has access to a QSS as well. So Silent Elements won't even be able to pull him out of fights here, Neebs. And DZG, it's an uphill battle for sure.
Yeah, I think taking Annie out of the fight before they get ultimate off is Silent's best bet of being some form of usefulness during team fights if he's going to group. As you said, QSS denies that, but we'll see what this 1v1's about to look like.
And it's about to be a 2v1 as Silent Elements do everything that he can to fight RPGX, but RPGX is just so strong. 75-0 over Strundle. He's just able to do whatever he wants. Silent Elements will fall down, and that will be RPGX dominating on the Strundle. Now, bot lane. Morpheus now here in the mid lane trying to fight off this, but nothing going to come of that. But DZG, it's the top lane is just open. And Silent, you gotta find safer ways to get gold here.
Well, I think the big thing is just overstay. You know, once the wave crashes to tower, if you have to be that ballsy, like as soon as it hits, you need to leave, right? Just let it ping pong back to you. You don't actually have to do anything. It will naturally push in. Once it's stacked, just make sure that there's a timing where you can pick up those CS numbers.
Well, we're seeing question mark pings coming here into the jungle as DZG is looking for resources. Anything to get them some gold in their pocket to shore up this gold deficit here. And I think they're just sacking this mid lane tower. Gopamine's taking a recall, maybe not. Might be looking for some cheeky here. He has the avenue. HyperX does connect onto Magpie's, but will it be enough? Gopamine does give the ultimate out, but he's instantly slain. Damage coming out here. It will be solo falling. Emperor did fall earlier as well. And DZG coming back with a pretty cheeky clapback here, as now Kappa Crusader starting the sights over to Dragon. This will be enough. He's now fighting the 2v1, and he does have the damage. Connects on Hyper when it becomes lightning, will now take down Hyper, and DZG with a 4-for-4 trade, and at the deficit here with gold bounties available, this is something you want to see. Now, I don't think Kappa Crusader here can beat this Trundle out. He still has access to the healing from the this Divine Sunderer, so DZG, I think that is as good as you can hope for. Holy hell, he's back to full health.
Yeah, probably just go mid there if you're Kappa Crusader. Knock down that turret for at least some global gold for your team. I mean, you had a wave crash and then it didn't die, but huge ultimate from Gopamine on the backside actually to get their carries low enough for Kappa Crusader to do the cleanup. So honestly, excellent look from DZG's mid lane. As far as, you know, Caitlyn dying, that's really unfortunate very early on in that play. Live a little bit longer, I think that fight actually turns around a little bit different.
100%, and we talked about it. DZG Gopamine definitely offering a lot more in the team fight realm than I think Emperor will be able to do. Who's more for the cheeky versus single target. So now this Herald will be falling, and we'll go into the pocket of RPG effects, who they should just be able to drop anywhere and be able to siege up. Maybe they want to actually use it to try to start getting some of these ocean drakes rolling. Which, if they're able to get 2 to 3 of those, it's going to be damn hard to kill this team. Now we are seeing a little bit of a death rush here as the ultimate does come out, does connect onto does connect on the soul. I'm sorry, Emperor now being the target. Next, Scopamine's going to go golden to deny the Timbers. When become lightning connects, Morpheus will take down Emperor. Damage now coming out onto Dracnus, but Emperor will actually take down Morpheus just with the enraged Timbers alone. That is so cheeky. Damage now coming out to the tanky members on the side of RPGC, but will it be enough? It will not be, as Hyper takes out Silent Elements, and that will be an ace. Double kill going over from Hyper as Kappa Crusader will fall. DZG had a great start to that fight, but the problem is the top side of the map is just so damn strong on the side of RPG. See that it's just really hard to win, even despite the carries being out.
Yeah, DZG, Elysium being a little greedy. Once they get stuff, they're just not willing to back off. You know, you walk away from the Tibbers, Tibbers isn't going to kill your backline. And unfortunately, this Trundle is huge right now. 8-0-12, has the Divine Sunder, has the Titanic, about to build Thornmail. Not a lick of anti-healing coming out from DZG, except now Gopamine picks up the Oblivion Orb, as well as a cloth armor to start finishing the Zhonya's pick. Really probably would have had a better shot early on in these fights against the Fed Trundle with some form of anti-healing. The Ignite, you know, from Leona even would have been beneficial, but again, I think the greed of DZG to get picks to leave.
But it will not be enough. The Ignite actually used on a Kappa Crusader there, and I don't think this 2v2 bot lane is strong enough to really get picks without somebody else joining them. But hey, it was still a really good look there.
Yes, I think this Blitzcrank is actually playing very well. I don't know about the Blitzcrank skin, but you know, whatever's cool, I guess.
Yeah, I thought that skin was, I know it's banned at least in the LCS. I figured it would be banned in the leagues as well. So that's a little unfortunate. As Emperor's, oh my god, just absolutely melting Silent Elements here. Silent Elements trying to get away from Tibbers, but Annie is just so strong in that 1v1. Now, Emperor going to be low here. When becomes Lightning does not connect. Max doing everything that they can to connect, but it will be another stun coming out. And Emperor just putting on the dancing shoes and dancing around DZG here. Oh my god, Hyper, that was one hell of a hook. He connects with Morphe, does damage follow up, but it will not be enough. Soulwolf now being the target for Gopamine. Gopamine will take down Soulwolf. Fight still on the top side. Captain Crusader going on to Emperor, does get the kill, but will fall because Dracnus and Hyper were there. And just across the map, so much going on. This is absolute bloodbath as Herald dropped into mid lane here, and I think this is going to be a lot of objectives going to the side of RPG. RPG as Captain Crusader and Gopamine are both down. And now they're looking for something here. Max gets on top of Hyper. Damage coming out now, but will it be enough as Hyper will fall. Dracnus is just going to be an absolute tank, but he will die as well. Huge shutdown going over the side of Silent Elements. Mid lane being focused now here from the side of RPGX, who does get the kill. They do stop the charge, but mid lane inhib falling does give a lot of pressure on the map. RPG running for the hills. Will anybody be able to catch him? Silent Elements flashes on top of him, gets the damage out. RPG does not have the healing to survive this, I don't think. Huge 1,000-fold going into the pocket of Silent Elements. 1,700 in bounties alone going over to this man. Hopefully, if you're a DZG fan, that's going to be enough to at least get you some skin back in this game here, Neebs.
Yeah, I think shutdowns going on Caitlyn, Mordekaiser really help DZG and their ability to come back into this game. Also, mid lane being open now with super minions means free farm for Caitlyn and or Mordekaiser, preferably the Caitlyn, so we'll see how that goes. Gopamine doing some scouting topside. They need to make sure that RPG does not get this free Baron.
Certainly, it's going to be Morpheus running to high hill. He does not want to see Hyper again. He's just been hitting the hooks, but, you know, I don't know what the communications are like, but Hyper's hit some great hooks, and then the rest of the team is just like, oh, nice hook, bro. Can't do anything about it. Have fun. Because, you know, Caitlyn was just able to survive with a 90 caliber net in that last one, which was good. Now, they ended up getting the kill later, and the momentum swing really set DZG up for some failure. But they were able to turn him down, I think, with getting a lot of those shutdowns. Now, this Nash is going to be the target here, and DZG just do not have the vision to really answer. They have one far side alteration utilized, and it's going to actually them being shifting their sights on Dracnus, who is sitting with 2 to 3 members of DZG, and look at his health bar. I don't think he's even down 25% health. He's now just running away. The rest of his team is just doing Nash, and they get that objective essentially free. Hell, Dracnus could have died and it would have been worth, but with him surviving, this is just spelling ultimate doom. That's going to be Captain Crusader's flash because he would have gotten knocked up, and that would have been no bueno for the side of DZG. But now they're retreating to their base. Superman is here. Morpheus, you're in the wrong spot. You're looking a little dangerous. Hyper looking for it, but will not be able to connect. I think Silent, with the grasp there, did buy him a little bit of safety. I think he would have been in range if Hyper put the trigger on that Q. Oh, no.
Yeah, I mean, not recognizing Ornn was just being a blockade there is kind of a misstep by DZG, but unfortunately, I actually don't think that if they had gone to that Baron, they would have been able to do anything unless Gopamine got an incredible ultimate off, right? But again, you know, with the Trundle now, Jinx on, you know, an item and a half, being able to take towers is just so easy for RPG with this Baron buff at 23 minutes.
Oh, absolutely. And another thing is, ornaments are going to start coming in at another level, so this is going to be really RPGC's game to win. As long as they just keep doing what they're doing, they don't over-index into a super incredible Diana engage, they should win. Don't step into dumb traps, hit hooks like that, and you should be fine. RPG will fall. Diana with a huge ultimate! Gopamine doing absolute work here. 3 members inside of RPG down now. Morpheus will get targeted now, but that will be RPGX falling. Now it will be Dracnus coming in for the next member of the chopping block mag, and Captain Crusader here will take this member down, but he is living so long, but I don't think he'll live long enough as he's trying to get damage out here. Will he? And no, that will be DZG with a 5 for 3 ace, and I just said it. Gopamine needs a huge ult, and what does he do? He gets an incredible fucking ultimate on this Diana. This will give them the Drake mags doing everything that they can to get the base cleared up, but holy hell, Neebs, that was what DZG needed.
Well, by Gopamine. Unfortunately, I don't think he got the Zhonya's off. If he had and lived there, I think it might have been a quicker of an ace. The Jinx rocket almost taking Dragon there would have been very unfortunate, luckily secured by Kappa Crusader. And it does look like DZG is going to get this free farm mid and these stacked waves. Kappa Crusader and Gopamine doing major work for the side of DZG right now.
Certainly, and another unsung hero in this fight, in this series, rather, has been Kappa Crusader's Smites. He's got 2 steals, I think, 1 on Dragon, 1 on Herald last game. And, clutching out that Smite there and ensuring that Jix didn't steal was beautiful as well. So Kappa Crusader, yeah, this series looking a little rough, but hey, man, like, your Smites, we see him as Silent Elements might be between a rock and a hard place. He does not have access to the Death Realm, as RPGX will be here, and that will be Mordekaiser just falling in the topside jungle. DZG, now we're going to have to turtle here, Nibs.
Yeah, DZG just seems to be making the same mistake over and over again. Doesn't let the waves bounce back to them. Just pushes out way too far. Goes into vision where they don't need the vision. Contested areas just don't need to be contested. It does look like RPG is going to get this inhib. Not sure if they can end without Silent being up. Should be a hard press for both inhibs. DZG probably just going to have to get both. Maybe some money in their pockets later on. Again, maybe Gopamine gets another incredible ultimate.
Yeah, and that would be beautiful for them. So now the problem is you've got double inhibs down. You need to really optimize for the next 3 minutes. You might even be able to sacrifice the Nash. That's going to be a tall order if you're the side of DZG. But I think if you get this soul, that there's still some fighting power that you have. Unfortunately, ornaments now coming out. And I think the first one went right into the pocket of Chundle, as he did get the Divine Sunder upgrade. So it's definitely going to be a very uphill battle. I don't even know if Soul's going to be enough to really get them stably back into this game here. And if they just cluster around and 5-man or maybe even 1-4 this bot lane tower, if they get triple inhib, then it's just going to be a time sink here for DZG. Is like the fat lady starts practicing her vocals, and that's going to be a flash from Morpheus. And that is a huge spell that you do not want to be without as we're getting into these last crucial moments of this game here, Neebs.
Yeah, Morpheus just deciding to frontline the bottom tower as the enemy team's coming in. Kind of a problem. It kind of seems like DZG right now is struggling to find their avenues back into the game. You mentioned Soul, but I actually think you just give up the next dragon, keep farming the 2 inhibs that are open, and then just try and keep this inhib from going down in the bot side.
Certainly, well, this trap wall is doing work as Morpheus is doing everything that he can with the rest of DZG to hold this off, but not having this Diana here, having Diana all farming somewhere else means that the side of RPG should feel very comfortable not having to worry about the lose factor, I guess we'll call it here, from the side of DZG. But the problem is this wave clear is coming through, and they're not really getting any sort of beneficial damage onto this tower. So RPG, I guess they're just stalling out here for the Nash. I feel like that was just a lot of wasted time there, and giving DZG a lot of free gold. But now, Nash coming up in 30 seconds, this should theoretically give them the tools that they need to really break down the base of DZG. Not even the base, just the nexus of DZG.
Yeah, again, getting the farm on your carry is very important right now. Jinx has kind of been farm starved for a while. She did get bot side of DZG's jungle, but other than that, I mean, we see a huge CS differential between mid laners and AD carries, mostly just because both of those inhibs have been taken early and then, they just haven't ended. Looks like they're setting up for a trap for Baron play. Hopefully DZG recognizes, hey, we can't go into our topside jungle. Let's go through the mid lane and then up through the river instead of going through the jungle. But it does look like they're probably going to have to give up this Baron, seeing as they're just not in position to deal with that.
And unfortunately, the times are just not in any sort of sync. So DZG can't even just go and grab the quick dragon for their troubles. So it should be super simple for the side of RPG to just walk down. Honestly, they could have just set 4 members here and have one person go down and get some Drake control here as Magnus does go down. Look for... Didn't even drop a word on it. But yeah, it's just going to be the side of RPG doing whatever they want to do next. And
Mags
DZG,
might be getting caught here.
I think she will be able to walk this one out and does so. But yeah, DZG, it's... Unfortunately, they're at the point of the game where they're going to have to rely on overstep or just a great freaking angle to be able to do something with this Diana. And another Soul or Ocean Drake going into the pocket of RPG is going to make this horn even more unkillable. And DZG, start praying for a miracle. If you don't have a religion, find one because you might need it in this next coming moments.
Yeah, I'm looking to see if Red Bull decides to sponsor our boys RPG here on this next power play. Let's see what happens. DZG doing a very good job at stemming the mid top push, but they really need to be ready to fight this bottom. I think really with the item differential and CS differential, you really need to fight on this tower and hope that you just win. Because if not, I think the bleed out's just gonna be too hard to handle. Need another good ultimate from Gopamine.
I was hoping for a little bit of a macro decision there from Corn, as I thought he was going to go just grab the wave, but they're actually looking for the power dive, and that will be a lot of damage coming out on Gopamine, and is forced to go golden. Will be able to come up and utilize the ultimate, and he does, but it actually will be him dying to Annie. Now damage coming out, Leona falls, Annie falls. Now it will be Caitlyn falling to Jinx. Damage coming out onto this inhib. Salanelm is doing everything that he can, but will not be enough as he is under the Nexus. Does fall to, I think, Soul Wolf. And that is going to be an ace. DZG going 0-2 in this series, and a well-played series by RPG, who have taken them down in a dominating fashion in both games. Holy hell, that was a series for some.
Yeah, first week Runeterra Academy. This is it, boys.
Well, I'd love to see some of these damage charts now, as we do see Caitlyn did a lot of damage, but that Trundle and Thorn were just an absolute top lane menace here, Neebs.
Yeah,
So,
top side
man.
of the map really pulled through the game. Only less than 9k. Blitz actually did more damage than their Jinx. Which is
Oh
actually
no!
kind of a real feels bad moment when you look at the game.
I'm not gonna talk about this too much, but are you getting some PTSD there, Neebs?
No, man, we're chilling, we're vibing.
But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we will be bringing you some action next week. As Thursday, Mr. Neebs here takes to the Rift again with DZG Olympus. But thank you everybody for coming out and celebrating the first week of DZG. Unfortunately, not all the games went in our favor, but it's always a pleasure to be here. Always a pleasure to represent and lead the organization. Any closing comments from you, Neebs?
Uh, Man, next time DZG stream, it's gonna be Olympus. Make sure you guys tune in and watch. We're coming for you.
Hell yeah. Neebs, thank you so much for joining me. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me. And that's going to do it here. Thank you and good night. Enjoy your weekend. DZG out.